Hey guys, I was down here the other day and noticed that my UPS had a battery indicator light that was lit, showing that there's a problem with the batteries in my unit. This particular UPS will do a self-test on its own, and that kicked off obviously and indicated a problem. And if I do a manual test, you'll see it come back in a second, and that's what you get. So I'll be replacing the batteries, and that's going to be the focus of the video. Let's get started. On the battery gauge, you see that top light isn't lit here. Yesterday it was, so I think we definitely have a battery problem. Alright, so one thing I do like about this UPS and this little setup here is that this front panel pops off, and I can remove these 4 screws over here, and then this little cage will come out and the batteries will be inside. And I actually can do that and hot swap them, so I don't have to power down any of my servers, which is great. Alright, so we're back at the workbench. I've got the cage pulled out of the UPS. You actually might hear a beeping sound in the background. That's actually the UPS notifying me that the batteries are out, obviously. So the case is actually pretty heavy, but that's because of the batteries. That's the front of it, which you just saw before. And then there are 2 APC batteries, and these are actually the original ones that came with the unit. They're maybe probably about 3 years old, maybe a little over than that. They're not warm, and there's certainly no leaking or anything like that. They're just probably worn out. So I'm gonna take them out and then replace them with the new ones that I got. These are the 2 battery packs that I pulled out, and I'm going to be a good environmental citizen here, and I'm going to take these back to the store that I bought the new ones from, and I'll have these recycled. Do not throw these out in the trash. Take them to get recycled so that they're disposed of properly. That's your green message for today, I guess. Alright, so here's the replacement battery. It's a worker battery, model WK-A12-7F2. 12 volt, 7 amp hour battery. Just replacement for direct replacement for the APC batteries that were in there. And of course I've got 2 of these, and we'll get these wired up and put in the unit. Now, one thing I should mention is the UPS that I have is a Smart UPS 700. It's an older model, and when you go to replace your batteries, make note of either the model number of the UPS or the part number for the battery. In my case, it's an RPC 22, and that's what these batteries are meant to replace. Alright, so here are the batteries wired up. I made note to keep track of how this was plugged in when I took the other ones out, and in all honesty, it's actually very easy. It's just 4 plugs, and the length of the wire is actually pretty indicative of where it needs to go, so that's nice and easy. So what you do is we'll just lay these down, and they'll just sit right there in the tray, and then we'll get this into the UPS, and I'll make sure that this is pulled in nice so that it's not coming out. But we'll put this right back in the rack, and then we'll see what we got. Alright, one last thing before I put this in the UPS. Took a permanent marker and wrote today's date, and that way in the future when I replace these, I'll have a permanent record of when the batteries went into service, and that way I'll know exactly how long it's been. And it's a hell of a lot easier, I think, to just have it here instead of on random piece of paper somewhere that I'll probably lose, because for sure when I replace these in the future, when I pull the case out, it'll just be right there. So pretty convenient, and that way I won't forget, or I can forget and it'll be there for me the next time I look at it. Alright, so we've got the little cage ready to go. Slides into the front of the UPS very easily, and that just goes in there. And then we've got the main plug here that will snap in here. And of course our beeping stop, which is good. And let me do a test here. And I expect that's going to come back with no error, which is good. So of course the battery gauge is not all the way up, but I think that's to be expected, so we have to wait for these batteries to charge up. But other than that, I think mission accomplished. I think we're good to go here. Thanks for watching, everybody.